I'm going to ask Councilmember Montero to do the invocation, and I'm going to ask Councilmember Patterson to please do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you to give me that honor, but can I ask Pastor Greg to do the invocation for me, please?
Okay.
Since we got a pastor in the house.
Yes, I would.
Thank you, Pastor Greg. Appreciate it. You do a better job than I do.
Okay, let's bow our heads. Father God, thank you so much for this day. There's so many things to thank you for, our lives, our families, our friends, the experiences we've had growing up. It's a pretty wonderful life that we've had here. We ask a special blessing, Father, just on everybody who works for the city, all the people who come and bring goods and services in, the business people, the kids that go to school. We just ask a blessing. It's tough nowadays in some ways, and we know that you're looking out for us, looking over us. So today, Lord, we just ask that you'd be with us in the meeting, and that all the people who are like working today and doing things today, that they'd be blessed as well. So I ask these things in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor.
Right, stand up. You know, actually, we always like to recognize our veterans. Can our veterans, raise your hand? Let's all give you guys a round of applause. Then face the flag, put your hand over your heart, and all with me. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible,
With liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Montero,
Present.
Councilmember Patterson, Councilmember Reyes
Here.
English, Mayor Pro Tem Manning, and Mayor Vargas.
Here. Our first item tonight is a presentation. Ms. Medina, please proceed on the homeless services update.
Oh my goodness. The pressure. Well, good evening, everyone. Mayor Vargas, council members. It's always a pleasure to be allowed to present to all of you. I will try and make my presentation as brief as possible. I will be reviewing and providing you an update regarding our current team that we have at the Homeless Services Office, our street outreach efforts, our community partnerships, an overview of Bridge of Hope Community Housing, our tiny home pallet shelter here in the city. I'm also going to provide you with an update regarding the Pathway Home Hawthorne project, which is the hotel off of Imperial in collaboration with the Homeless Initiative, and then an update pertaining our homeless count from 2020 up to 2024. Our current team is composed of 2 street outreach case coordinators, Raul Escamilla and Ovidio Solis, which are subcontracted by the LA CARA subcontract that we have with the community partner. They provide street outreach, transportation, coordinator, and shelter placements throughout LA County, not just within our Hawthorne shelter. We have a full-time case coordinator, which I'm thrilled. She started back in May. Lisa Gonzalez, which is full-time, and she's under the subcontract with St. Margaret Center under Catholic Charities. She provides assistance with case coordination, housing navigation, and prevention services. She's definitely becoming an expert in the preventative side of attending to those that are at imminent risk of becoming homeless. And the staff that you don't see reflected here is a full-time receptionist through the subcontract through the South Bay WIP under our Community Programs Department by Kawana Bowie. And then myself, supervisor, overseeing the program, the staff, engagement, case management, housing navigation, just overall the oversight of the program for the city. So our street outreach efforts, we are providing street outreach Monday through Friday, one Saturday out of the month, the third Saturday out of the month, was just added this past July, this month of July, and we're going to continue providing outreach the third Saturday of every month. We're trying to partner up and continue to partner up with our police department, Caltrans, and LASA. Wednesdays and Fridays, our street outreach team provides outreach 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. So they're out in the street canvassing all our 22 census tracts, going to the parks, going to the liquor stores, the laundromats, addressing some of the business tickets that come in through email, our phone system, and our community residents. So they're quite busy. That's why we encouraged and agreed upon adding that Saturday, one Saturday out of the month. And I want to take a minute to emphasize how important street outreach is. This particular time is dedicated to engage our on-house neighbors and encourage them to seek services. And I want to remind all of you that it's not easy and it's not going to happen from one day to the next where we are going to just drag our on-house neighbors into seeking services. The team is out there trained to engage and encourage, motivate, and establish a relationship. Most of these folks are away from mainstream society, and they need that little push, and we need to create those consistent relationships in order to bring them in for services. So street outreach is a critical part of the services that we provide through our Homeless Services Office. Our partnerships, I am happy to share that we have over 20 community partners that we are engaging. And I don't know if you remember when I came in, I don't think this was in existence, but we have established really good MOUs, community contracts, service contracts that are fully engaged in providing wraparound services to all our participants. From our PD department, which is the one that has definitely stepped up and demonstrated commitment to facing our on-house situation here in the city. Our housing authority under Kimberly Mack's leadership, I am on the phone with her team on a daily basis, following up with potential vouchers and just referrals for any type of documentation that is needed for their housing. LA CARA, which is the service provider, not just for our Bridge of Hope, but for our street outreach. And they also provide emergency beds for those participants that are ready to go into treatment for substance use or abuse. The Venice Family Clinic, we have an MOU, a 3-year MOU, that's providing free healthcare services. And this is not just for our on-house neighbors, but we are noticing an increase on our low-income community just coming out and seeking those free healthcare services. Medi-Cal, all participants that have Medi-Cal are welcome, but if you don't have health insurance, they will assist you with Covered California trying to start the process in getting healthcare. So this is not just for our on-house neighbors. The telehealth van is also providing counseling and therapy outside of our Homeless Services Office, at our Bridge of Hope Community Pallet Shelter, at the Pathway Home Hotel, and at Patterns, which is a women's substance residential program here in the city. The Department of Public Health and Mental Health continue to provide referrals, vaccinations, behavioral health services to all our participants, and have opened the door for a lot of potential housing under DMH, which is wonderful, which becomes permanent housing for these participants that qualify, that have severe mental health issues. The LA County Homeless Initiative, we are in collaboration with them, overseeing the Pathway Home Hotel. They are the ones overseeing the project, but we are working together in housing all the Hawthorne unhoused, not anyone from outside of the city. St. Margaret Center, we continue to work with them extremely close, not just under the subcontractor that we have with our case coordinator, but they provide hotel vouchers, rental assistance, rental arrears assistance, hygiene supplies and materials that we need for our outreach events and our participants when they are recently housed. Our LASA, of course, we are using the case coordination system, which captures all our case coordination notations, They provide also client aid for security deposits, rental arrears, food cards, gas cards, miscellaneous for vehicle registration, for safe parking locations. So they are definitely a strong partner of our service office. The SHARE, which is the Self-Help Recovery Exchange Program, they have definitely come through the end of 2023 up to now. They have housed several of our participants under permanent housing under the SHARE program, meaning that they are sharing space with other individuals. They happen to share either a bathroom or a kitchen. Sometimes they get their own room. So that's a wonderful partnership that I hope that we continue to work together. The South Bay City's Council of Governments, ARCOG, they have been a strong supporter of City of Hawthorne, not just providing grant funds for the street outreach approach, but for our case coordinator position. And in addition to that, they provide client aid as well. So if I have several locations to tap into client aid for hotel voucher security deposits from the COG, St. Margaret, and LASA, which is wonderful. The New Star Family Justice Center also provides a lot of the domestic violence referrals and hotel placements for our domestic violence cases, especially when they come in with a police report in hand. Sanctuary of Hope, we continue to refer our youth that is experiencing homelessness here in the city. They provide full scope wraparound services once they are referred and admitted into their program. The Hawthorne Lawndale Ministerial Association, Pastor Greg, and the rest of the pastors have been strong supporters of our homeless services by donating their time during outreach or just donating food supplies and toiletries for our clientele. So I thank them dearly. Harbor Interfaith, they also continue to provide services for families, which is something that we are struggling to meet here in the city. And Harbor Interfaith has definitely stepped up to, we are referring families, they're following up with us for potential placement under individual cases. Every case is different. The South Bay WIB, we continue to provide referrals for workforce. So once we place them in our Bridge of Hope pallet shelter, they automatically we automatically submit a referral for work placement through the WIB. And we have had a success with many of our participants staying at Bridge of Hope. Ahmad Institute, they have been coming out on Mondays providing follow-up wraparound services to our LGBTQ community, and we want to continue to grow that potential partnership to where they are opening some housing placements for them. In the Military Veterans Affairs, they are starting to provide services through our homeless services bungalow starting in August. They will be joining our team, and they will be providing wraparound services to vets and the families, not just from the city of Hawthorne, but all vets under SPA 8, which is Palos Verdes all the way to Inglewood and every city in between. So we're looking forward to that service getting started. And of course, I want to thank the community and our residents, businesses throughout the city. They have demonstrated support, not just with donations for our participants, especially when they know that we are about to house someone, but they have come through with food items, comforters, hampers, ready when we house someone. So thank you. Our Bridge of Hope Community Housing, as you know, is our tiny home pallet shelter. Thank you, council members, for all the support and dedication to this project. We opened back in May of 2023. LA CATA provides the oversight for the pallets and all the 12 residents. Interim bridge placements are for those residents that stay within 30 to 180 days. Every case is different. We've had some stay for 2 weeks because we potentially place them in permanent housing or another interim house facility. So the turnaround time is pretty quick, 30 to 180 days. That's our goal. I'm happy to share with you that 40 people experiencing homelessness that have been provided interim placement at our Bridge of Hope pallet shelter, 12 of them have been successfully permanently housed. through a variety of housing voucher programs. So for fiscal year 23-24, 40 individuals have resided at our Bridge of Hope pallet shelter, and 12 of them have been successfully housed. All residents are provided intense case management services, housing navigation counseling, all the wraparound services that you could think of, we are providing, from healthcare to transportation services. All residents receive 3 meals a day, and they partake in community activities, movie night, karaoke. I've gone over there to play bingo with them, exercise, board games, field trips, holiday festivities. So we are really attempting to engage them in social events and encourage them to, feel like they matter, they're human, and we want them to feel good about themselves. The Bridge of Hope pallet shelter is funded by CDBG CARES Act dollars, the American Rescue Plan Act Award, and PLHA grants and the Home ARP allocations. If any questions pertaining funding, I will definitely direct that to our Director of Housing, Kimberly Mack.
Could you please summarize this, maybe in a couple sentences, please? We
Sure.
just need to move on to the next
Okay,
topics,
so
please.
you know what, the Pathway Home, I could let you know that successfully we have placed 36, the slide shows 36 people, but as of last week, we added an additional 6 folks over at the Pathway Home Stadium Hotel. So currently, Hawthorne has placed 42 Hawthorne Unhoused over at the hotel, and there's 50 rooms available. I will move on to the next slide, just the homeless count from 2020 up to 2024. The blue bar shows the LAHSA numbers. The yellow bar shows our numbers that we collect through our office. And from 2020, you could see to 2024, there's a pattern of decrease through our homeless. This year is the only year that we saw a slight increase of 12%. And we were able to capture those individuals as passing through, meaning that these individuals are coming from neighboring cities and out of the state. A 3% data report showed that most of the 3% were families, and these families were passing through, and some of them were actually captured right away, living under the freeway underpath. We were able to place them in shelter and get them out of the city, but properly housed interim. And our location, our contact and operation hours are in the slide there. If you have any questions or concerns, please do not hesitate to reach out. The 310-349-1663. My email, I have a city email address. Please do not hesitate to reach out if any questions. And I really do encourage you to click on the link so you can see those 2 videos. I want to thank Eric Chavez from the Cable Media Department. Did a wonderful job of putting a beautiful video together for us, capturing all the efforts that we do.
Thank
So
you,
with
Dulce.
that, thank you.
Big round of applause.
Thank you.
I mean, you guys saw that. That was a lot of information, right? So it's a good thing. Any comments from my council member colleagues?
Just really quick, thank you for your hard work and your dedication. And I see all the different partnerships that you've built over the time that you've been running this program. It really is a testament to your dedication to our unhoused. And, it's great to see our community kind of come together and support this initiative. So, thank you for the presentation. Thank you for your work.
Thank you so much, Councilmember.
Sure.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Dulce. Always a pleasure to see you because I know you're a woman in action, and the numbers, speak for themselves. Like you said, when you started, we didn't have all these partnerships. We didn't have all these wraparound service to give to our unhoused community. So you have built a fantastic program, and like you said, thanks to the council, thanks to all the other departments that you have been working with, and especially the outside providers that you have brought into our city. So I have to say, thank you. I am very proud of all the work that you have been done there, and your staff, and you continue to build it up, right? So with all these partnerships. So I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart, because homeless was one of my, goals to have programs in Hawthorne to make sure that we be compassionate and serve the unhoused community, and we have been doing that. So congratulations and thank you, and continue to do a good job. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Dulce, thank you.
Yes.
I echo what my council member colleagues have said. Thank you for putting a great program together in partnership with the police and the different services. I think the golden question for me, and it's important, it's been asked by the residents, is you have a specific number. You said like 180. How many of those 180 were people that used to have a residence here in the city of Hawthorne and are homeless? And how many are just people that lost their place of residence somewhere else that decided to come? Do you have that type of information, or is that not something you ask?
Oh, no, that's definitely something that we ask, and I could definitely provide a breakdown for you and provide it to our city manager so they could share. We are seeing a lot of individuals within the city that are recently being evicted.
Okay.
So there's a good percentage of that. There's some percentages that people just have lost their housing, and some have been experiencing homelessness, chronic homelessness for years. So I could definitely provide the breakdown because we do have those numbers.
And the reason I ask is because my obligation is to Hawthorne residents. If anybody lose housing here, I would like to find a solution for those who have lost their housing here. So I'd like to find out that information to see how we can help. If somebody chooses to be homeless, maybe say in Beverly Hills, they choose to be homeless. There's not that doesn't mean that it's a reflection on Beverly Hills having lost evicting somebody and putting them on the street. So there's many of these. I want to see what the numbers are. People choosing to be homeless here, choosing as a location where they're, setting up, themselves.
I'm proud to say that those numbers reflect Hawthorne unhoused that living. Having a footprint in Hawthorne.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
We are catering to, we are dedicated to those folks that are passing through, which they are. That's why you saw that 12%
Yes.
rise.
Yes, yes.
So that 12% rise, we are attending to those unhoused that are passing through, coming from Beverly Hills, we're seeing a lot from Hollywood, from the Santa Monica area, from some of our neighboring cities. So we definitely follow up with their case manager on the system and say, okay, your client is in our area. How would you like to proceed? Usually they provide transportation. Usually as much as we do for them is providing transportation back to their city. Okay, we can make them leave Hawthorne, but I can tell you that most of them are willing to go back to the city once we make a contact with their case manager, social worker, individual that's actually providing assistance. They don't like to go back to the cities if they're not being provided that
How long would it
service.
take for you to get that information that I'm asking about?
By this Friday,
Okay.
I have those stats.
If you could pass it along through our city manager.
Will do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's give her a round of applause again, please. There's challenges when it comes to helping out the unhoused, those who have lost housing. But as you can see, Dulce is doing a pretty good job of, a really awesome job of assembling our response to that issue. Regional Special Events, Police Chief Tomatani.
I like that logo.
We all kind of like the logo too. Good evening, Mayor, City Council members, and elected officials, city staff. It's a pleasure to be here today. I was asked to give a very high-level overview of something that we're trying to accomplish as the City of Hawthorne team, and it revolves around Special Events Committee. And this all came as out of a brainchild of our city manager, who picked up on the fact that there are a lot of good things that are happening regionally in the Los Angeles area, and we felt like we were missing opportunities in the past to capitalize on those events. So as a result of that, we have put together a special events committee that relies on the experience and the expertise of our city staff. So the Special Events Committee, it does have police department representation on it, but I want to make it very clear that it's also represented by our airport department, our community services department, our finance department, our planning department, and public works, as well as the police department. I just happen to have drawn the short straw tonight to be able to give the presentation. The reason why we have a very, very diverse group of professional staff from the city of Hawthorne that are on this committee is because as we put these events together, we realize that no single city department has all the expertise that's necessary to make these events a success. So by collaborating together amongst our professional staff here at the city, I think that we are maximizing our opportunities here. I mentioned some of these future regional events, and I'm just going to go over a brief synopsis of what's on the agenda here. So later this year, for calendar year 2024, and it'll end in 2025, one city north of us, the NBA franchise LA Clippers. I'm not asking for personal allegiances to sports teams because I'll start mudslinging here, but the LA Clippers will begin their inaugural season playing at the Intuit Dome. And this should, to our city, it should represent an incredible opportunity for us to hold some basketball-related events within our own city that will benefit our businesses and will benefit our community. In addition to that, in 2026, the NBA has already announced that they intend to host the NBA All-Star Game at the Intuit Dome. Again, another opportunity for us. And during the same calendar year in 2026, World Cup soccer will take place. And I think we all just came off of the Copa America high, and we saw how fanatical some of our local football fans or soccer fans are. And I think that that would be a great opportunity for us to capitalize on something. Continuing right on down the calendar, 2027, return of the NFL Super Bowl. And in 2028, the granddaddy of them all, the Summer Olympics, will be visiting. So these are the reasons why we realize that there is an opportunity for us to locally provide some sort of a venue and some sort of an event that we think that our local community and our business community would really, would like to participate in. These types of events, naturally and organically, they just provide us with an opportunity to collaborate with existing entities within the city. And I'll get into what some of those entities are in a little bit. But I want to explain that we're not trying to build this up from the ground up. We're going to try to focus on leveraging existing relationships that we have with service groups, school districts, and business organizations. And if we do this right, as we build on this, because this will be a building block program, if we do this right, each subsequent event that we decide to capitalize on, the planning will get easier. The organization will get easier, the logistics will get easier, because we'll be building our own in-house expertise in order to make these events a success. And that should, in turn, hopefully bring a sense of pride and a sense of community and cohesion to our city. And last, and I would say perhaps most importantly, this is a great opportunity for us to promote ourselves as what should be, and I've heard the phrase used before, as what should be a destination, right? We don't have a professional sports franchise playing in our city, but we're going to have a lot of developments in the city over the course of the next 5 years, and we should be able to host some pretty significant events at those facilities, at those venues, to put Hawthorne on the map. And I mentioned earlier that we're gonna, part of the program is to collaborate and leverage these relationships that we have with existing entities. So by collaborating with existing school districts and service clubs, this allows us to build relationships that are more meaningful and allows us to engage with repeated positive contact with the kids in our community. And the example I would use is the existing futsal program. And I was just at the concerts and movies in the park this past Friday. And when I pulled up, you know, the futsal courts, that's a self-sustaining program right now. The kids that started that program under our supervision, under the supervision of community services staff, those kids are running that program themselves right now. So it's kind of like a turnkey program, and we're trying to repeat that process. And with that, I'm going to actually call up my cohort now, the Director of Planning, Greg McLean, to continue talking about some of the business-ended aspects of what we're trying to accomplish.
Thank you, Chief Tomatani. As you can see, I drew an even shorter straw than he did. So, first of all, I want to point out that we've thrown a couple of logos for various organizations in the city up on the screen, and they haven't been contacted yet, so I don't want anybody to be surprised. But we see these as, Yeah, now you know. We see these as opportunities to build partnerships that we can develop into long-term relationships. And each of these organizations, as well as the city, has a mission. And to the extent that our missions can overlap and reinforce each other, this is a good opportunity for us. And this is actually an economic development program as well. One of the ideas that came up when we were doing our strategic plan was to leverage local events. But I think at the time, we didn't even fully understand the impact that some of these events were going to have. And I think that after experiencing a Taylor Swift concert and I think it was a Beyonce concert and then a bunch of other stuff, and then there's sports events, it would just be a shame not to take advantage of this and to leverage the expertise that your staff has, which is significant, but we can't do everything. That's why we're hoping that we can bring in other groups that can help us to use their strengths to augment ours, okay? So, one of our strengths, though, is in marketing the city. We've gotten pretty good at putting the word out whenever we're doing good events. We're getting very good with social media, and so we see that as one of our strengths. But bringing businesses into this, where there may be an opportunity for them to set up a booth or something, is not our expertise. So we're looking at the Hawthorne Business Connect to reach out to some extent, and of course the most obvious is the Hawthorne Chamber of Commerce. If they're willing, we would love to partner with them and build up a long-term relationship. Building our reputation as a great place to live and a great place to work, or a great place to do business, is part of the goal. And there are going to be, like the chief said, as we get better at this, we'll be able to focus on more and more events that are happening in the region and capitalize on them and make life here better for everybody. And this is just another example of how we're growing and maturing as a city. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions?
Go ahead, Chair.
Go ahead.
So really quickly,
Just pause
there's a group here from our police department's community affairs unit that has already put in a little bit of legwork and groundwork. They've contacted 2 of our local school districts, and we're all in agreement that this is something that's worthwhile to pursue. So I'd like to bring up Sergeant Mitchell. I'm sorry, not Sergeant Mitchell, Sergeant Nichols from the Hawthorne Police Department Community Affairs Unit. He'll bring up his team and he'll go over what the first concept is to coincide with the opening inaugural season of the LA Clippers at the Intuit Dome to hopefully culminate in an event here at our city.
Good evening, Mayor, council members, city manager, and other city officials. As stated before, my name is Sergeant Nichols from the Community Affairs Bureau, and I'm here with my team in Community Affairs, Casey Maria, Lamika Bell, and Brenda Williams. And we want to present to you tonight something that the concept was given to us to flesh out, and this is what we've come up with so far. It is the Hawthorne Good Neighbor Games. Hawthorne Good Neighbor Games, there we go. The concept of this is that it is a skills competition where we're going to go into the 7 elementary schools in the Hawthorne School District and 2 in the Weisburn District and focus on the 4th and 5th grade students during their PE classes. And what we're going to do is over the course of the year, we're going to push into those schools at least 2 times during their PE classes. And during those classes, we're going to work on 3 skills that are basketball centric, those skills being free throws, layups, and dribbling. The hope is by the end of the school year, each school can provide us 10 4th graders, 10 5th graders from all 9 schools for a total of 180 students who would then come to the Betty Ainsworth Center and do a skills competition.
Oh, well, this doesn't bend down. I'm a little short. So the Hawthorne Good Neighbor Games is planned to start in September, giving the school district a little bit of time to readjust coming back from summer. Announcements will be made from our staff, either through short assembly or through emails to the parents and staff. We have already made flyers for it, which will be distributed at the start of the school season, posted on our social media, and we are encouraging the school districts to also post on any of their available social media. Our social media will also be the hub for where we keep everyone updated on dates where we plan on visiting for practices after everyone's schedules have been solidified. The Hawthorne Good Neighbor Games will run from September 2024 through May 2025. And with respect for our schedule and the school's holiday, vacation, and testing schedules, we will be skipping the month of December. The skills that the participants will be learning during these practices will be showcased in the skills competition. And the participants are planned to receive a shirt with their school colors, so school spirit, and with the Hawthorne City logo. After the skills competition, the participants will then be invited to the NBA Finals game watch party on a later date. Oops, there we go.
Okay, requirements, okay, attendance. Students have to attend at least 2 practices to qualify the skills competition event, and then good attitude. Okay, students must demonstrate good sportsmanship and passing grades. Students are required to have passing grades in all subjects.
The Hawthorne Good Neighbors game will have 2 major events at the end of the school engagement sessions. The first being the schools competition, the skills competition, which is slated for May 24th, 2025 at the Betty Ainsworth Gym. The day will include greetings from officials, individual competition, food trucks, raffles, and an award ceremony. And the trophies will be presented to the winners of each skill and grade level. A trophy will be presented to the school with the overall wins. Let me see, where are we? Yeah, wait. Okay. Okay, and the second event is the NBA Final Watch Party, which will be June of 2025. The location is to be determined along with the date. Participants in the skills competition will be invited to, participants in the skills competition will be invited along with their immediate families to the NBA watch party. And the police department will be providing the food and drinks and set the party atmosphere that promises to be a night of fun. Thank you very much. Do you have any questions?
Is there more?
No,
we good?
just asking if there was a question about the event.
Go ahead.
None?
No.
Wonderful.
Sounds fun. Looking forward to it.
Thank you. All right, thank you. Let's give a round of applause.
To the chair.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I think this is a great idea, especially to create the special event committee concept, right? Like the chief said, we're going to have a lot of events coming to Inglewood, and it's not just Inglewood; it's the entire South Bay, because, for example, the Olympics committee has decided a lot of events is going to be happening in South Bay. I can just, for example, give you a quick example about the Clipper Stadium on 2028 Olympics. All the basketball competition for the Olympic game is going to be in Tweetum Dome in Inglewood. And imagine you have about 100-something countries that have basketball, and all of them are going to play right at that stadium. So Hawthorne, I think this concept is a great idea because a lot of these teams that is going to come, not just the soccer in 2026, they're going to look for facilities for training. And they need some place that we can offer for them to train in our gym, train in our memorial center, swimming in our pools over there. because as you know, 2028, the SoFi Stadium also is going to be transformed into swimming pool competition. They're going to put swimming pool inside the SoFi Stadium. Just imagine how many people that is coming from now until 28 to this area, to South Bay. Millions of people. And this is a great concept that for us to be one step ahead, because we're going to have all these countries, all these teams, from soccer to basketball to volleyball to swimming, try to find location for training the athletes to stay. So that is what we have to do. We have to look into the future. And Hawthorne is right half a mile of the center of is going to be the universe for these 4 years to come. Because, NBA Star Games, the NFL, Super Bowl, and it's going to be also the college football is going to be happening over here too. The SoFi is going to have eight games for the Soccer World Cup. Okay, and you saw what happened in Europe, in Copa America, and everything like that. So this is a fantastic idea to get just groups together from the community. Because I remember when I used to be president of the Lions Club, I host a breakfast for the Special Olympics, for the kid that was doing Special Olympics. So this is the kind of thing that we have, and I have to commend our city manager at all. The chief, Greg, and Nicholson, and all your committee, because this is the way Hawthorne is going to be on the map. And we need to take advantage of all these activity that's coming to this area. Because if we don't, like Ms. Valentine we used to say, we're going to see the train go by, and we're going to be standing on the platform and just waving. And we have to make them stop in Hawthorne. And think about this. They already start talking about that we need to put those pop-up restaurants, because there's not going to be enough restaurants in this area to fit everybody. So they're thinking about those almost portable restaurants in the middle of boulevards. Those are the kind of innovation that we need to start thinking about. So it's a great idea, and I want to say thank you again for the vision of our city manager and the team putting this together, because that's what we need. So thank you, and I'm proud of our staff.
All right, thank you guys for putting that together. I also think that that's a great idea. I'm most interested in finding out how these events could put some of our people to work. How do we get some of our Hawthorne residents to work at some of these events, hired by the security companies that work at the SoFi Stadium, maybe during the World Cup, at the Intuit Dome? What's the economic impact and benefit to the city? I mean, I don't know how much economic impact we're going to have by a national team of a country practicing at one of our gyms. So I like to see that, and whatever. I think the focus, personally, from my perspective, for this group, is how can we economically take advantage of these events coming in? I mean, people walking through our city, staying in our hotels. We already see that with some of these events that have already happened. So I don't see a difference with respect to that. But what other things can we come up and be creative as to what we can offer the people who will be attending? And I think the maximum attendance at one of these Olympics has been 800,000 at the Atlanta Games. Maybe we're going to surpass it and cross 1 million. I don't think it's going to be millions and millions of people, but we'll probably be around the 1 million person mark. But we also got to remember, those 1 million people are not going to be focused here. They're going to be spread out through LA County and Southern California and all the different locations. So how do we target those people that will be here in the immediate vicinity? So we just need to have things in perspective and be realistic about this, pragmatist about it, and just see what we could do. So that's my input on that.
Through the chair.
Yep.
Okay, a few weeks ago, we went to an economic forecast. Myself and Mr. Patterson was there, our city manager, and our city clerk was there. And we had the Olympic Committee chair, the owner of the LA Times, he's a scientist. We got somebody from Cosmo, right? It was Cosmo? Yeah, they were there talking about the benefit of the entire regional, not just South Bay, but LA County. The impact of economic development that's going to happen from now until 2028 because of all these events. It's not just one event that's going to bring people, but it's 4 years of events that is going to be adding up the number of people that's coming from outside our area to this area. So the economic forecast was telling us to be prepared from Long Beach to Inglewood to LA County to downtown LA, even to the desert. They're telling us we need to be ready. We need to be prepared because it's going to be a boom in our economy, but we have to be able to offer something to those that are coming. Lodging, eating, shopping, transportation, all of that is going to be impact in all these cities. And yes, it's going to be jobs because they're going to be hiring people. A lot of people is going to be hired. So the economic forecast for LA County and from us, it is going to be big and we have to get ready. And that is what prepare and have a vision. And that's what I'm saying. I'm glad that our staff have the vision already starting this concept because if we just waiting and wait and do nothing, and then it's going to pass by and then we will not take a benefit for our community. So, but we need to be ready.
Awesome. I'm glad we all agree. Our last presentation will be given by Captain Eric Lane. Captain Lane, please proceed.
Good evening. Thank you, Mayor, council members, elected officials, and staff. I'd like to take a few minutes to introduce Sharp Performance. Sharp Performance is a employee health, mental health application that the police department has been working with for a little over a year and a half. Under the city manager's leadership and direction, we are now going to offer Sharp Performance to all employees at the city of Hawthorne for coaching, mental toughness, mental resiliency, mental health type training. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to Benjamin Curley, the CEO and co-founder of Sharp Performance.
Thank you, Captain Lane. Thank you, Mayor and Council. My name is Ben Curley. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Sharp Performance. What Sharp Performance is a mental performance coaching platform for high-risk professionals such as law enforcement, but now we are expanding to other markets, and we're really excited that Hawthorne will be the first city that we're rolling out with. In short, what this allows for users to do is on their mobile device, get connected with a performance coach who can help them with any number of things. It can be remaining accountable for a personal goal, being more present with their family, their friends, working through leadership challenges in their profession, and whatever variety that is. The majority of our team comes from the military special operations community, where they learned that it's not only physical fitness that matters, but mental fitness is really important to improve performance on the job and then at home. Some of the best athletes and executives in the world, they utilize performance coaching to help them in their jobs and at home, and we're excited to bring that to you all and all of your employees. As Captain Lane mentioned, we've been working with Hawthorne PD and a number of other law enforcement and fire agencies in LA County, across the state, and other states in the union. Some of the feedback and responses that we've gotten have been extraordinary, that we've saved individuals' marriages, or rather, their coaches have helped them with their marriages, that they're noticeably more excited coming into work from their coworkers, that they now have a better handle on their work-life balance, and on and on. And so we're very excited to bring that to the city of Hawthorne and all of your employees. We understand how hard you all work, that you all and your employees serve the city, and we're excited to serve you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you again for coming. Again, this is a demonstration how Hawthorne and our leadership, especially our city manager and the police department, have the vision, right, to bring preventive. It's like almost a preventive care, right, to our workers, and especially the PD, because we know the job have a lot of stress, right, a lot of stress, and they put their life to risk their life for our own safety. So to me, the program coaching is very important, because like you said, you have athletes, from tennis to NBA stars that have mental health coaches to get them prepared mentally, not just physically, but mentally, right? Because those the moment that everybody gets nervous when they're going to take a shot or something. But this is good because healthy life is a happy life. And people have to understand the mental health and fitness is very important. Not just, for them to come to work and feel proud and feel healthy, but also to go home with a smile, that they've done their job and they're happy about it, and then they go home and be healthy and happy with their families and with their children. And that's the most beautiful thing, that nowadays everything is on the hand of our cell phone and some apps, and that is good, because coaching, like I was talking about, we started coaches a long time ago to teach people how to do better job, how to be productive. And now for us, it's the one step ahead to make sure that the mental health is critical and is important, especially in the stressful world that we are living in, right? So again, this program, and it's a show that Hawthorne is on the cusp of innovation and the first, so we're going to be the first city. So I hope that you can put us again, showing that, look at Hawthorne, look at the city of good neighbors, because our staff is important. I tell them all the time, you guys are the pillar of this city. We council member, we just get elected to make policies, but they're the one who do the work 24/7. So, and they need mental health. They need preventive care. So thank you for bringing this program to us. I appreciate it.
That's right. Thank you, council member. And I want to add and follow up with that. The city of Hawthorne is the first city to roll out to all of its employees. And I want to note that Hawthorne PD was the first police department that we worked with. We're now working with dozens of departments. In the near future, we'll be working with hundreds. So Hawthorne, the police department, and the city remains at the cutting edge.
Looking forward to our discount in the near future.
That's right.
Thank
That's
you.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
Thank you.
Awesome. You have a question, sir? Any comment on that? No? Okay, sorry. Madam Clerk, please read the guidelines for oral communications.
Pursuant to Government Code Section 54954.3, all remarks should be addressed to the City Council as a body and not to any individual council member. During oral communications, speakers shall have 3 minutes to state their business. The Brown Act prohibits the City Council from providing a detailed response or acting upon any items not contained on the agenda. The governing bodies as a body shall have the discretion at the close of oral communications to refer any remarks to the city manager for study, investigation, report, and/or recommendation.
Pat Donaldson.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council, City Manager, Police Department. Patricia Donaldson, President CEO of the Hawthorne Chamber of Commerce. Don't forget that we're having our 10th annual golf tournament, September 30th at Rio Hondo. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner will be served, and dinner will be a buffet, wonderful buffet dinner. A couple weeks ago, there was a meeting somewhere in Hawthorne, and someone had mentioned that they didn't know what the Hawthorne Chamber does. So the Hawthorne Chamber of Commerce is the voice for the businesses who are chamber members. If the businesses have a problem, we go before the Planning Commission or the City Council to help get the problem resolved. We have mixers each month, which is business networking with each other. The Chamber also gives backpacks away every year to the Kornblum Elementary School children who are low income in August. November, we have our Thanksgiving giveaway. December, we have our Christmas giveaway of food, toys, and turkeys. Every other Thursday, we give out food to low-income families at the Chamber office. All this is done by donations from businesses and individuals, and our golf tournament, which raises money for the holidays. So that's what the Chamber does, and any other suggestions, we would be more than happy to accept. Also, I have a new Chamber member. His name is Robert Lopez. He's going to come up here and give his name and tell you about his business. Robert? Roberto, sorry.
Good evening with everyone. My name is Roberto Lopez. I'm the CEO and founder of Monster Guardian Video. I got the business license and contractor license in 2009. I have started on 2000, so I have 24 years of experience on low voltage. So I offer the service, and I would like to, I'm looking forward for the opportunity of growing my small business, and that way create more jobs opportunities, and also the opportunity of serving local residents and local businesses as well. We pretty much offer as a small installations for like starting at TV installation all the way up to wiring and programming an entire hotel. So we have audio, video, camera systems, shade systems, control systems. We do like custom audio, custom home theaters, and everything that is involved with electronics, we can take care of it. So like I mentioned, we're looking forward on growing the business and have more opportunities here as a local business. And that way we can provide more opportunity here locally. Since we've traveled several times to other states, luckily, and we want to grow the business locally as well. Thank you very much.
Welcome to the city.
Welcome, sir.
And what's your location?
Hawthorne. 120th and Hawthorne.
Thank you, sir. Welcome.
Thank you.
Let's give him a round of applause and welcome to the city. Olivia Valentine.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council, elected officials. I want to talk about SpaceX's impending departure. We all hope it isn't true. Elon Musk, the founder of SpaceX, has announced that he will be moving his headquarters to Texas in response to the passage of AB 1955. Musk has not said whether he intends to move only the headquarters or the entire campus and other SpaceX facilities in the surrounding area, or when that move might take place. I read an article about the move in several papers, including the Daily Breeze, which minimized the impending move and compared it to Toyota's moving out of Torrance, saying that Torrance's revenues were not seriously impacted by Toyota's departure. But Hawthorne is not Torrance. Hawthorne does not have the diverse economy with several large malls and company headquarters. I believe SpaceX move would have a devastating impact on Hawthorne. For Hawthorne, SpaceX has been at the center of revitalization of Crenshaw Boulevard and the surrounding area, bringing in other businesses which relied on the patronage of the young engineers and technicians with disposable income. The apartment building across the street from SpaceX was built in part to house the employees of SpaceX. SpaceX is the largest employer in Hawthorne, and in the 2022-2023 fiscal year, SpaceX provided nearly 7,000 Hawthorne jobs, about 16% of the city's total employment. But that's not all. SpaceX provides the inspiration for several STEM programs in our schools, as well as supporting the image of Hawthorne in the region as the cradle of aerospace. Our logo has a SpaceX rocket flying out of it. Regardless of the politics, if it hasn't already done so, the city should meet with SpaceX officials and find out what they need in order to reconsider the move. Then the city should set up meetings with state officials and let them know that it is critical that they work with Elon Musk and incentivize SpaceX to stay in Hawthorne. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your feedback, ma'am. I'm just happy to let you know that we have a lot of that in place right now. So we're working behind the scenes to make certain things happen. Right, Mr. City Manager? Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Anybody else wishing to address the City Council? Please form a line. If not, I declare oral communications closed. Oh, ladies? Okay. I saw you guys running at the last minute. Okay, of course. Okay.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Council, and staff and neighbors. I want to say that there was a lot of good news in the presentation that happened earlier tonight, and I'm excited, like everybody else, for the opportunities that are going to be coming to Hawthorne as a result of the developments that are happening in Inglewood and other places. One thing I would like to ask, though, however, because we are so impacted by what happens nearby, please, please, please put at the top of your list to mitigate anything that you can in terms of fireworks that would affect our city, because we're still getting blasted every single night. And those are illegal fireworks. But it's at the point where if we're going to have fireworks every time there's an event in Inglewood, that's not a tenable situation for some of us, and we might have to look elsewhere. So please keep that in and do what you can to make sure that they have laser shows or drone shows or something other than explosives to celebrate their achievements there. Thanks very much. And I agree totally with what former Councilwoman Valentine said. Thank you.
And I know the fireworks, we have people who have an issue with the fireworks. So Mr. City Manager, I mean, I'm going to make it as a directive, but I'd like to put out a call for suggestions from the public on solutions in which we can mitigate that issue. I think the residents need to come up with some ideas to help us out. One thing is to say, let's do something, but if we don't have any ideas, I mean, we've exhausted all ours, so let's get some ideas from the public, okay? Thank you. Ma'am?
Good afternoon. Lely Fernandez from North Hawthorne Community Association. I'm here with my granddaughter, Jocelyn. And first of all, I am excited on the President Chief did. It's exciting to see our very own Hawthorne Police Department involved on the benefits and events of the Hawthorne and taking a personable manner with them. It shows how much they care for the residents here and how we are all one happy family here, good neighbors. Anyhow, I'm here to remind you about the parking crisis in our city. It has not been resolved. I've been coming up here on council meetings and emailing as early as 2010. After holding multiple meetings with our neighbors, we decided to focus on preferential parking approach, which will alleviate parking. For example, this will stop the overnight and 7-day parking from mechanic, auto shops, car resellers, and car hoarders, who only move when street sweeper passes by. In order for this to work, we must not only choose a few streets to give preferential parking, but throughout North Hawthorne. T-parking is not working for our area. In fact, it's created more issues for residents. The cars are still not moving. They still stay there for 7 days. So the issue is still there. As of now, I would like to bring this up to your attention so we can work together creating a safe parking environment for all of North Hawthorne residents. In the past, we have turned in multiple petitions with hundreds of signatures, and if need be, we will get more signatures. The North Hawthorne Community Association will not stop helping our neighbors, especially when it comes down to the safety of our residents. And we plead for your help and for you to work with us, Mayor and all councils included. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, please.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. We've been, again, had issues with commercial vehicles parked here on Gravilla, besides between the library and the apartment building. Twice I've called parking enforcement out here. These buses, commercial buses, park on Gravilla, which I know is not a commercial zoning for buses or trucks to park. Neighbors have complained or saying that when they pull out of the driveway, you've got this big commercial bus, tour buses parked on our street. They come to the hotel. I tell them, you got to move. You can't park here. This is a residential zoning, not made for commercial. They said, we'll park here. I called parking enforcement. They came out and cited him. All the bus driver did was, whatever, and parked there. He's there Monday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. He's a tour bus from, if you guys remember the old Trailways buses. He's out here every weekend. He parks here and goes to the hotel. They've got plenty of room for those buses and these trucks. One of these days, I've had problems. I can't even see him coming out of our parking of the apartments because they're so big, and you got these U-Haul trucks that's parked there, and they think, well, it's a public parking. Well, not for commercial vehicles or buses or trucks, because they're so high you can't see over them, you can't see around them. People coming out of their apartment houses, you got to avoid. Well, should I go right? Should I got to go left? You don't know if there's oncoming traffic coming from City Hall or 126th Street, because you got these big-ass commercial trucks, buses parked there, and twice this bus has been cited twice. And he says he has the right to park there. It's not a road made for commercial. And we're going to start stopping these commercial trucks and buses parking on our streets because you can't see around them. People, traffic is even worse, but not as worse as the buses and U-Haul trucks parked there all the time. You can't see over them or around them. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. If there's no further comments, I'll declare oral communication close ordered. Okay. Just want to remind everybody to please stay quiet in the audience while people are speaking, not as a sign of respect while they're speaking, please. Well, you saw that little bell right there? That was an accent. Okay. All right, guys. City Clerk.
Mr. Mayor, I have 4 items on the consent calendar. There are items 4 through 7 for your consideration and approval. Item 4, approval of waiver of full readings of resolutions and/or ordinances on tonight's agenda. Item 5, City Treasurer requests approval of the warrants for July 23rd, 2024. Item 6, resolution number 8477, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Hawthorne, California, providing for the terms and conditions of employment of those employees represented by the Hawthorne Police Management Supervisors Group, HPMSG, according to the provisions of the Hawthorne Municipal Code, HMC, and authorizing the city manager to execute the HPMSG Memorandum of Understanding. Item 7, Resolution Number 8476, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Hawthorne, California, providing for the terms and conditions of employment of those employees represented by the Hawthorne Police Officers Association, HPOA, according to the provisions of the Hawthorne Municipal Code, HMC, and authorizing the city manager to execute the HPOA Memorandum of Understanding for adoption.
I move.
Second.
Please vote.
The votes are in. The voting reflects mayor and council voting yes.
Thank you, ma'am, on that one. City manager's consent calendar. Madam Clerk, the agenda reflects you have items 8 through 15 on the city manager's consent calendar. Can you please proceed by introducing each item into the record?
Item 8, First Amendment to the Consulting Agreement for Design Services, First Amendment between the City of Hawthorne City and an Office Untitled Consultant. Item 9, First Amendment to the Consultant Agreement for Traffic Engineering Services, First Amendment between the City of Hawthorne City and Kimley Horn and Associates Consultant. Item 10, Progress Payment Number 5 in the amount of $1,933,607.43 due to Sequel Contractors of Santa Fe Springs, California for Northeast Hawthorne Mobility Improvement Project, project number 21-05. Item 11, Memorandum of Agreement for Bioterrorism Response Enhancement Program, Measure B funding, between City of Hawthorne Police Department and Emergency Medical Services Agency in the amount of $44,950. Item 12, Agreement between the City of Hawthorne and Department of Transportation for Freeway Maintenance Agreement on state right-of-way within local jurisdictional limits. Item 13, Agreement between the City of Hawthorne and CPA Clean Power Alliance for the Energized Communities Program for Building Electrification Assistance Program. Item 14, First Amendment to the Consultant Agreement for the Design Services, First Amendment between the City of Hawthorne City and C&S Engineering Consultant. Item 15, Purchase Order between the City of Hawthorne and Snap-on for the purchase of toolboxes for equipment mechanics. Mr. Mayor, that concludes the City Manager's consent calendar. May I have a motion to approve items 8 through 15?
I make a motion.
Second.
Please vote.
Mr. Mayor, can I just say a quick something about the number 13?
We already have the...
Yeah.
Okay, we'll grant that to you. Go ahead.
I just want to commend, the Public Works, especially Akbar and Selena for negotiating with the Clean Power Alliance to get this grant. It's about $250,000 for our new City Hall coming up, so the Building Electrification Assistance Program. So I want to say thank you because it takes them to write those grants and to go to the meeting. So thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Vote.
The votes are in. The vote reflects mayor and council voting yes.
Thank you, Ms. City Clerk. Next, we have the City Attorney's consent calendar. Madam Clerk, the agenda reflects you have items 16 and 17 on the City Attorney's consent calendar. Please proceed by introducing each item into the record, please.
Item 16, claim for damages for Alex A. Wyndham arising out of an alleged fall on a sidewalk. Recommended motion, staff recommends that the City Council deny the claim of Alex A. Wyndham. Item 17, funding request for administration contract services account in the amount of $150,000 for the fiscal year 2024 to 2025, and request for approval of blanket purchase orders. Staff recommends that the City Council approve increasing the budget in the amount of $150,000 to administration contract services account, encumber for the same, and approve the blanket purchase order for Civica Law Group, Richard Watson, Gershon, and the Feldhaig Law Firm. Mr. Mayor, that concludes the City Attorney's consent calendar. May I have a motion to approve items 16 and 17?
I make a motion.
Second.
Okay, please vote.
The votes are in. The voting reflects mayor and council voting yes.
I gotta say, I really like this voting system. It's pretty awesome. It's so efficient. Thank you for your help, Ms. City Clerk, with this system. At this time, I will recess the City Council meeting and call to order the Public Financing Authority with all members present. Madam Secretary, the resolution, please.
Resolution number 11, a resolution of the Board of Directors of the Hawthorne Public Financing Authority regarding date and time of regular meetings for adoption.
I make a motion.
Second.
Thank you, sir. Please vote. Thank you.
The votes are in. The vote reflects mayor and council voting yes.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Discussion action items. Next, I personally have a discussion action item 18, the approval of applicants for various commissions. And this is in response of the need to populate some of these commissions and requested by my city council member colleagues and the departments that that requested this.
Mr. Mayor, and we were communicated by Mayor Pro Tem Manning to request to delay this particular item to the next council meeting, which will be on August 13th. But I'll leave it. It's already agendized.
This is urgent. If this was important to the councilwoman, she could have come to this meeting. I think we have some of the residents here who are volunteering their time. There's an urgent need, and I'm fulfilling my duty as requested by my council colleagues. So the applicants weren't required to be here, but I'm going to make a motion for the appointment of Kathleen DeMesa to the Senior Citizens Commission.
I second.
Please vote.
The votes are in. The vote reflects mayor and council voting yes.
If you are here, please step to the podium so people can see you. I make a motion for the appointment of Presley Suomi to the Planning Commission.
Before I make a motion, before I second your motion, can I ask some question?
Of course, that's still all. This is, yeah.
Welcome, Mr.
Presley Suomi. Presley Suomi.
Yeah, Presley.
Hello, Mayor Vargas, City Council members.
Okay, so when I was reading your application, you applied for the
Veterans Commission
You
position.
applied for the Veterans Commission, right? Because you're a military veteran.
That's correct, sir.
Correct. So why did you change the Planning Commission?
I felt that it'd be probably better suited for me and, being a part of the city. Initially, when I inquired, I just, decided I wanted to be a part of the city, contribute to Hawthorne in any way, possibly. And I saw the Veterans Commission was what I saw initially. Obviously, I'm a veteran. I have a strong passion for helping veterans. That was something I considered until reviewing the other positions that were on there, and I figured.
So you feel that you do understand about planning, about zoning and land use?
Yes, sir. And whatever I don't know, I can learn. Okay. I have a background in logistics, MBA, currently pursuing my doctorate right now, but I help run my family's business in the city of Torrance. So, but I do want to be a contributing member here in the city of Hawthorne.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I second.
Please vote.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
The votes are in. The voting reflects mayor and council voting yes.
I'm going to make a motion for Mr. Robert Smith for the other additional Planning Commission, just to complete our mission. Mr. Robert Smith, can you please approach the podium? I make a motion for the appointment of Robert Smith to the Planning Commission.
I second.
Through the chair, I would like to ask Mr. Smith a question.
We have a motion. We already have a motion. Please vote.
But he can still.
Okay, go ahead. We'll grant you the opportunity. I'm so sorry.
Mr. Smith, you were on our Planning Commission previously. I would just love to hear a little bit about that experience and why you're seeking to rejoin the Planning Commission.
Yes, I was on the Planning Commission originally from 2002 till last year, and I enjoyed being on the Planning Commission, and it was also a way of me giving back to my city. I've lived in the city since 1943. Graduated from Hawthorne High School in first class, and just would like to get back on it because I feel I have a lot of knowledge of the city of Hawthorne, and I could be very helpful to it.
Thank you. Thank you. And I was looking at your resume. I see you've are very involved in the community overall and have gotten involved in a lot of different organizations and committees. And so we definitely appreciate your contribution.
Okay. Thank you, Councilmember. Please vote.
The votes are in.
And thank you for reapplying.
The voting reflects mayor and council voting yes.
Thank you, Councilmember colleagues. Let's see. Let's just check off what do we got here. Awesome. Is Kathleen Harris present? Okay. Not required to be here, guys, but I'll make the motion to appoint Kathleen Harris to the Civil Service Commission.
I second.
Please vote.
The votes are in. The voting reflects mayor and council voting yes.
Okay. Thank you, member colleagues. I make Jeffrey Sokol, Civil Service Commission. I'll make the motion for Mr. Jeffrey Sokol to be on the Civil Service Commission.
I second.
Okay. I was waiting for questions. I don't want to. Please vote.
The votes are in. The voting reflects mayor and council voting yes.
Okay. Awesome. Wonderful.
Through the chair. Thank you for applying for the commission because it's very important for you, all of you, to get involved. I know Mr. Sokol because he's part of the Kiwanis Club, so and he's been helping the kids over there at the Memorial Center. So thank you very much, and thank you for all of you because, like you said, you have to be part of this city, and your civic duty is much appreciated because it's your time. It doesn't pay. So, and we need things to move forward. So, like you see, we got the city is going on the right direction. A lot of innovation things are coming to Hawthorne. So we need your help, right? Because it's not the three of us or the five of us is not the one that make this city. It's all the commissions and the staff. So I want to thank you for your time and thank you for applying. And I'm pretty sure you guys will do a fantastic job. So thank you very much.
Through the chair.
Sir.
Yeah, just a little bit of a correction. It actually does pay $50 a meeting.
Oh my God.
And mind you, I believe Councilmember Montero is the reason why it's been increased to $50. It was $25 a meeting previously. So he gave you guys a raise.
Awesome.
Yeah, it doesn't even put gas on your car, so forget about it.
Gentlemen, the three of you, can you please come up here in the front? We're going to administer an oath of office in front of your constituents here. If you guys could come this way. She'll get to do it on the official. Solemnly affirm. That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States. And the Constitution of the State of California. Against all enemies. Foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith and allegiance. To the Constitution of the United States. And the Constitution of the State of California.
Oh, you're calling? There you go. Still, you gotta work on it. There you go.
Take care. Yeah, take care.
All right, here we go. And then 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, and 3, 2, 1. Thank you.
Thank you once again, council member colleagues, and the community members who stepped up and volunteered. Thank you, guys. And the ladies who were nominated as, were voted in as commissioners as well, who are going to meet with the city clerk very soon. The elected officials' reports and recommendations. Ms. City Treasurer?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming out. It's good to see you all here. Congratulations to those of you who just certified your new commission seats. Congratulations. We have one maturity rolling over this month from 2.25 to at least a 4% interest rate, so that's good. I attended Movies in the Park last Friday. What a great time it was, listening to the music and hanging out with some of the residents. Thank you to all the city staff and the employees who showed up to help out and make sure that the event was a success. Love Beyond Autism is doing a meet and greet on August 3rd from 2 to 3 p.m. at Raleigh Park. It'd be nice if everybody could come out and show a little bit of support. Thank you for coming out, and good night.
Thank you, ma'am. Ms. City Clerk?
I want to thank everyone for coming out. Wanted to thank all the people that came out today for the Zela Davis groundbreaking. The park is being rebuilt. There are going to be basketball courts and lots of greenery for the families here in Hawthorne, and it was really good to see. And just really want to tip my hat to our city manager, who is an amazing visionary and really does have the public's best interest at heart when he comes up with these ideas. Wanted to also let the public know that nomination for 2 council seats and the mayor's seat, that time period is open. So if anyone is interested in running for those seats, you can come to the clerk's office. If you have questions, you can also call and make an appointment if you'd like to come in and pull papers. I would like to close my comments today to my dear mother-in-law, who I lost this morning.
Sorry about that.
Just wanted to just kind of say a couple things about her. She was an amazing woman, married for 62 years to my father-in-law. She instilled in us, even though she wasn't my mother, but she raised me like I was a mother, even though I was an adult when I met her. She instilled in me love, respect, honesty, and service to others. Everybody who knew her knew she was an amazing woman. And she fell ill a couple years ago after her son, my ex-husband, passed away. So I just want to close it out with what she said to me all the time when we were on the phone. Good night, love. I love you. Be sweet. Thank you all.
Our condolences. Council Member David Patterson?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and definitely you have my condolences as well, Madam Clerk. I want to thank the community for coming out to this council meeting and participating in this process. Love to, we have a great turnout of community members, and former council member Olivia Valentine, we definitely appreciate your letter and your words. One thing that we definitely miss is how prepared you always are when you get up to speak, and so we definitely appreciate that. I want to appreciate express my appreciation for our staff and our police department. You guys always put in a lot of work outside of your normal hours. You know, I show up to different events, you know, in the evening and see you guys there and wonder, like, what are you guys doing here? But definitely appreciate your commitment to our city. I partnered with the senior commission and hosted an ice cream social last Friday at the Senior Citizen Center. And I want to thank the staff for putting that all together. All I got to do was show up and scoop ice cream, and so I appreciate that. I always say I'm not the event planner type, but I love spending time with the community. And so I want to thank the Senior Commission for allowing me to partner with them to put that event together. I believe we had a great time. It was a lot of people came out. And of course, some of our elected officials came out. Our Councilmember Angie Reyes English, Councilmember Alex Montero came out, and of course we had a lot of people in the community. And so I want to thank the city manager and everybody else who helped kind of put that together. We had a great time. Also, between the last meeting, a number of us attended the Independent Cities Association conference in Coronado. And it was a very educational experience. It's a lot of networking that occurred, but also learned a lot from those different, the different things that were on the agenda. So there's some notes I took on my phone I want to bring up and suggest that we look into. There was a lot of good ideas on how to fight against SB 9, which I definitely appreciated. A lot of great economic development ideas. A few things that came up that I would love to ask the city manager and staff to look into it and just give me their feedback if it's something that we should do or pursue. But looking at updating our development impact fees, especially when it applies to ADUs. Look at our Quimby fees and see if does it make sense for us to increase those? Does it even make sense to understand it's going to cost money to do a nexus study? What else? There was a presenter that talked about advertising on buses, on bus benches. They create like a whole deal to kind of provide shade as well as advertising. That may or may not make sense for our city, but I'd love to look into that and see if that'd be a good opportunity for some revenue for our city. And then also cybersecurity. Want to ask city manager to look into maybe providing some cybersecurity training for our staff here and making sure that we're safe. I know you guys heard about what happened recently with systems that I think we're using Microsoft's environment, but it was a different software that they used for security, and it kind of reset and caused a lot of systems to crash. We want to make sure that, of course, we're being safe when it comes to cybersecurity, and we're taking care of things the way we need to. But yeah, it was a lot of great things we got from the Independent Cities Association. I hope I didn't steal any of the requests from the mayor. He was there in attendance as well. I want to suggest that our special events committee connect with Sweet Science Gym. I was speaking with the owner of that gym last week. He was saying that he has a relationship with USA Boxing, and I believe they'll be using his gym as a part of the Olympics Games training, and who knows what else. So maybe we should connect with that gym and try to build a formal relationship and seeing how we can have some boxing activities connected with the Olympics here in the city of Hawthorne. We received a legal confidential, but I don't think this is like something I can't talk about the Good Neighbors Pledge from our city attorney. Can we put that on as a discussion item at the next council meeting for everybody to talk about? I really like what was in that pledge. I think it's something we should look at, and it has something to do with how we engage with the homeless population in the city of Hawthorne. And of course, I want to welcome our new commissioners to the city of Hawthorne, to our commissions. The city couldn't run effectively without you. And that's not just something we say, but new positions couldn't be created without the Civil Service Commission, and a number of projects couldn't be constructed in the city without the Planning Commission. And so, and a lot of our seniors, a lot of our youth wouldn't feel appreciated without those commissions as well. So we definitely appreciate you and appreciate your contribution to our city. One thing, just a little bit of a personal kind of thing I wanted to share. I just finished my PhD program on Monday. It's been a long road. I just successfully, thank you, successfully defended my dissertation in front of my committee, and It's just very exciting thing to kind of finally complete. It's been a kind of a goal of mine for a long time. My mom inspired me to pursue my PhD. She went back to school later in life and finished her bachelor's like around 50, and then she got accepted into a doctoral program at Temple University in Philadelphia. And she left me, right? I was about 21, and she left me and moved to Philadelphia to pursue her PhD, and she didn't complete it. She used what they call ABD, all but dissertation. She did all the coursework and didn't complete the dissertation. And I'll tell you, I was close to being that person as well. I had completed all my coursework and had been slacking on my dissertation for quite some time, and finally finished it and was able to do it on the subject that I had a lot of passion about. I've completed my PhD in business psychology, and I did my dissertation in family business succession planning, and I was able to use the movie The Godfather as my data set in order to kind of study that concept, right? So it was kind of great to be able to do my dissertation connected with one of my favorite movies. But that's kind of it, though. And I'm really excited to really kind of study that subject, because I had a really good conversation with our previous chief, Ishii, about succession planning, and really respected some of the things he put in place in positioning his organization, right, to continue to thrive after he had left. And I think that's incumbent of all leaders, whether you're leading your family, your church, a department, or a city, to really think about that organization after you've gone, right, and put it in a position for it to thrive without you. So, but thank you for giving me an opportunity to kind of share a little bit about that. I look forward to see you guys at the next meeting.
Thank you, sir. Councilmember Alex Montero.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for all of you for coming tonight, and those at home. I'd like to say congratulations to Dr. Patterson, right? Oh, congratulations. Yeah, that's a very outstanding achievement, so congratulations. And sorry for your loss, Miss Dana Hunter. Our prayers and love will be with you, right? Again, I want to say thank you to Dulce Medina, for the homeless update, because I always love for her to come, because she gave us details about the program, what she have accomplished. To house 12 individuals is not that easy. So because they have to make sure that the people will become self-sufficient, right? So that's why we need to put people back to work, back to housing, and that's the way we're going to end homelessness, if we can work together. So those 20 partnership, it shows that it's not just one entity that could provide all the service to the unhoused community. And it's like we said, homeless, they have no border. They transient, they move from place to place. And that is what that good neighbor thing that we're going to be discussing the next time, about the pledge of all the cities, because that came from the South Bay COG, to try to tell all of us to work together instead of pushing the homeless down the street to the next city, to the next street. So it's to make that pledge to work together to solve the homeless issue. So that's I'm tremendously proud that our city of Hawthorne, we have the tiny homes, we have the programs that we can help some other cities get their homeless back to their community, and they can provide them service. So that's a very good thing going on out there. I am sorry that I missed the Zella Davis groundbreaking of that park, right? Because believe it or not, Zella Davis is a special place for me, because I came to Hawthorne 25 years ago and worked at the Zella Davis Elementary School. That was my first job in Hawthorne, at the Health and Dignity Center that we built there. So I was going, but I had some other priority this morning, and I couldn't make it. But I'm glad I saw a video, a beautiful video. So thank you, Vaughn. Thank you, Public Works. Again, it's Public Works working to bring grants to Hawthorne, because that money to renovate the park is not just they give us like a rain check. No. They have to apply. They have to wait. It's a competition. So thank you again for all the departments that work together to bring more additional dollar into Hawthorne, so then we do not touch to the general fund. So thank you again. And again, I want to say thank you to Vaughn and to all the negotiators, because I saw that we we vote on some contract labor negotiations, so thank you for that. And I think everybody now have a contract for at least for 3 years, and with some raise on their pay, so thank you for that. We appreciate all your leadership. I want to say thank you again for the police department, the chief and the staff and the captain and the lieutenants and the public relation for working every single day to bring innovative ideas to our city, right? So they brought the drones, they brought the medical director, they brought the medical service, they brought, the Narcan, we're the first one in South Bay. Now we're going to have this app that's going to help staff deal with their physical health and mental health, because it's very important, because, staff come to work because they have to work to make money, right? Everybody needs money to survive, but we never know what's happened to their mental capacity. They might have issues at home that we don't know, right? So at least now they will have a tool to access mental health care, preventive care, a coaching, to be able to talk to someone, to at least to be happy here at work, to go home, still be happy. Like I said, healthy life is a healthy living. And we need to make sure that we are providing staff all the tools necessary for them to succeed at work and at home. Like the gentleman said, they save some marriage or save somebody from committing suicide, right? Because mental health is an issue in America, and there's not enough providers there. So for us, Hawthorne to be the first one, I'm very proud of the police department, to the management, to the city manager to bring these to the other staffs in the city. So thank you for that. I think that was one of the beautiful things for the performer wellness program. I appreciate very much. And again, I want to commend the staff for that special event committee, because I keep saying we need to put Hawthorne up front. We cannot allow some other cities to take advantage of these events that's coming up, and then we're just sitting and wait. We cannot do that, because look, Long Beach, for example, is going to have 6 events for the Olympics. Manhattan Beach, El Segundo, Redondo Beach, Carson. So we need to be part of that conversation. And the way to do it is for us to tell them we have these facilities here that could be rent or lease for weeks for training. And we need to build infrastructure. We need to continue to build hotels, continue to try to bring more restaurants in our city. Because that's the way we're going to catch some of that profit that's going to come to South Bay. So we need to put ourselves up front. So I'm glad to see that our staff is proactive, getting things ready to say, we have this stuff to offer to you, so come to our city. So thank you for that. I appreciate that very, very, very much. And I'm so glad that we have Vaughn as a city manager, because he has vision. He's a young man, and he works 24/7, to tell you the truth. And he has vision for the city. And we need to support him and his staff. And I'm glad to see that the staff love him. It's not just us. So I have to commend him for what he has done, our city attorney, and all the head department working very hard to make sure that the city is going on the right direction. So again, I have to say, Mr. Mayor, it has been a very good year so far. The summer started with a bang, with all the events that is happening. Sorry I missed your movie and concert this last Saturday.
Come to the one this time.
But I'm going to be out of town, actually. Oh, okay. So I'm going to be out of town, actually, from tomorrow until August 3rd. So, but enjoy the movies and concert in the park. And it's been going pretty well. I think we're going to have a car show coming up on August 30th, right here in front of City Hall. So if you have a beautiful car, Mr. Don Harris, make sure you bring your car. I know you have one of those classic cars over there in your garage. So, and also the National Night Out is coming up. So we got a lot of stuff, good stuff happening in the city of Hawthorne. And the staff has been working very, very duly intelligent to bring these things to our community. And again, I'm proud to be your council member. So God bless and good night. Oh, thank you, the commission again, because we need you. We need all you guys to work with us, okay? Because we need to make sure that Hawthorne is moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Montero. As you heard my council colleague talk about the car show that's going to be taking place on August 30th here on 126th Street, I believe. So yeah, perfect, right? We have the new parking setup that we have here along 126. You get to see all those cars parked nice angled. It's just made for that, isn't it? And it's close, and you could easily seal off both sides, so you could easily prevent traffic from coming in and be made a safe setup right there for everybody to come and take a look. So that's what stood out for me about that. The National Night Out, which we always have, but it's going to be here at City Hall on August 6th, which is a Tuesday. Hawthorne Business Connect is having a basic sales and use tax presentation. We're going to have various speakers, and that's going to be taking place on Monday, August 5th, 5:30 to 7:30. Okay, if that's something that appeals to you. Then something that I think stood out, and actually the Senior Center's been having these really nice outings. They've been going to the Arboretum. They've been going to different museums. And on Friday, August 9th, the Senior Center and its participants are going to be going to the California Science Center. So I think that's going to be pretty neat. And there is going to be a bus, so that's going to be covered. So I think it's going to be really nice. If you know somebody that's interested in that, make sure that you mention it to them. I have a couple people that I think that I know would be really excited to go, so I'll make sure that they know. Oh, okay, and everybody talked about, people have been talking about the concerts and the movies in the park. So we're going to have another one this Friday, the final one for this season, they say. So it's going to be a Selena cover band starting from 6 to 8. So that's going to be pretty fun. And then after that, there's going to be a movie from 8 to 10, most likely. Doesn't go past 10 usually. And that's going to be Trolls. And the attendance has been increasing as we go. So we're fine-tuning everything that we need for these things. But the response has been great. People have been calling and asking for information. People have been spreading the word. I had people that 3 times the number this time around. And I'm pretty sure this Friday is going to be even more. So we got the recipe down. People are having a good time, good family fun. So please come out and see Selena on this Friday. Right? How do they say in the movie? Selena, right? Something like that. You remember, right? Mr. Hoffman? All right. So make sure you guys come out. I'd like to see it, all my council member colleagues and the city treasurer and city clerk staff's invited, obviously. So I want to see you there. Okay, so let's see. The military banners have been such a great success. And we've been fielding calls from people interested in posting up their relatives, their parents, themselves, a friend, Hawthorne residents. So it's been a great success. So we're getting a great response. So I knew that if people would see that, they'd be calling up and, hey, how do I get up there? How do we get people up? So that's happening. So I'm happy to see that. I saw one person today that was in the office when I came in. So it's turning out pretty cool. Okay, let's keep them up there for a while, too. I don't want to see them come down right after the season, okay? My request, my humble request. And you're right. I was at the Independent Cities Association along with my council member colleague, David Patterson, Angie Race English, and our city manager. And we were there listening to the different seminars, different sessions that were there. And you're right. I want to echo interest in seeing what we do about the development impact fees, if we need to adjust them to be better suited for our purposes here, and cybersecurity as well. So a lot of different things. So you took great notes. I know you were like up towards the front, so that's good. So thank you, Councilmember colleague. And yeah, city manager was there. Networking, you're right. Networking is an essential part for the city council members. Any chance you, my colleagues, myself, and our 2 lady council member colleagues have an opportunity to go network, it's very important, because what's going to happen, that's where we get all our ideas, right, for things that we could do better here in the city of Hawthorne. We have a comparison point. What are they doing and what could we do better? And then whenever we run into a problem, hey, how did you guys do this in your city? Because we're interested in doing it in our city. So it serves various purposes. So I think it's great that we continue that. And definitely maybe talk about other, how we could increase the funding available to be able to attend many more of these networking events. So at some point, maybe I could come up with something that we could present. That's reasonable, right? But that just allows us more flexibility with that, if you guys are okay with that. So this whole thing about the Olympics and all this stuff. So I have a directive, a very specific directive, and this is adding to what we've been saying. I know we're just standing here and we're hoping that Thea is okay. Hey, we got like these hotels, we got these gyms, etc. Mr. City Manager, I know I'm just barely coming up with this. It's not crazy or anything. Just definitely like for us to have a letter or for communication to be made with the LA 28 committee. Let's contact them, set up a meeting. Obviously, before we do that, we gotta line up everything and all the things that we do have currently available so that we could start getting commitments for some of these teams and some of our gyms for the practice opportunities for our pool. Let's just start locking those down because they're going to the cities, you know, that they're commonly go to, that they've been to before in the previous Olympics in 1984 and such. I think we should go out and just tell them, hey, we got this available over here, you know? I mean, I don't care if Kazakhstan's basketball team practices, I don't care if it is, but we'll have a presence, or Kazakhstan's or whoever, I don't know. I mean, some other fancier country if you want, Poland, or it's going to be very international, right? Oh yeah, Portugal, the soccer team over here playing. Mr. City Manager, is that okay? We could just come up with just a connection. Just let us know, maybe the next meeting, kind of if you've done it or if you have a plan, okay?
Just wait until after the French and the Olympic, because right now all of them is in Paris.
Well,
the Olympics.
Let's explore that.
I don't
and see
think we're going to get a request back in 2 weeks.
No,
I think-
exactly.
okay.
It's not. So right now, until August 16, they're all going to be in Paris.
Everybody?
Everybody. Because there's the Olympic is going to
Mr.
start.
City Manager, don't pay attention to him. Take a look at it.
Mr. City Manager, I know what you mean. Don't push
No.
your mouth on the phone.
So, Mr. City Manager, yeah, let's just start thinking about how we can approach that, and just a plan, okay?
Noted. Thank you.
Thanks. I think we just need to be aggressive in promoting our city and not just just hoping they see us. That's it. Just remember, the concerts in the park. It's going to be fun. It's been fun. Bring out your lawn chairs and stuff, and just have a good time. We have the Cuban Festival too coming up soon in September. For that. September 29th. It got pushed back 1 or 2 weeks, I believe, but September 29th, and that's really fun. It's on Sundays. Sundays, right? So yeah, salsa dancing, etc. Vaya Vera. All right. Okay, that's it. If you're okay, I'd like to close out the meeting in memory of the city clerk's mother-in-law who passed away. So if we could have a moment of silence for her, please. May she rest in peace. Okay, guys, so that's pretty much it. Thank you all for coming. Thank you to our new commissioners. New commissioners, please make sure you talk to our city clerk so she can give you a heads up as to what she needs from you. Is that okay, Ms. City Clerk? Yeah, before you guys leave, okay? All right, thank you. This meeting is adjourned at 7:59.
2 hours, see?